on our way to Rhode Island, Newport. We're just coming from Boston. We've spent a couple of days there. We explored the city and then we took yesterday out just to relax. This video is going to be a bit of a recap of our week and where we've been and what we've been up to. Previously I've been doing this on my blog at pilatesbylisa.com.au, so if you want to check out previous weeks you can check it out there, but from here on in we're going to be doing more of a video style blog so that yeah, you can hear firsthand exactly what we like, what we haven't liked so much, you know, our recommendations for certain places. So we're going to start this week back from about 10 days ago when we were in Chicago. So Chicago was, I think, my favourite city so far.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I would definitely go back there again. New York was my favourite city, but I think Chicago has slightly overtaken it. We had such a fun day there.
Yeah.
We only spent the one day in the city, so we sort of just packed in as much as we could. We went to the Willis Tower, which was it used to be called the Sears Tower. It was in the movie Ferris Bueller's Day Off, so we wanted to go up and check that out, and that was awesome, hey?
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, it goes up to about 103 stories, and we actually walked out onto this ledge, or it's like a little box, and it's all just glass. 103 stories up, and you're stepping out as though you're almost stepping off the building, like you can see straight down, and it was petrifying. One of my friends back at home said, you should have done some Pilates in there. And I was struggling even just crawling out there, so I don't think I would have been doing Pilates out there. But yeah, so that was really fun. And then we did a tour.
The gangster tour.
The gangster tour was really cool. It took us to all the places where I was going to say Al Pacino. What's his name? Al Capone. Al Capone and all of his friends used to hang out. And all the stories that were involved with them. So
Yeah.
Tim loved that.
John Dillinger.
Yeah, John Dillinger.
Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yeah. So that was really fun. There's lots of history there.
All the prohibition places and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that was cool as well. All the places where prohibition, all the speakeasy places. That was really fun. That was with a place called the Untouchables tour. So they did a really good job. They were all dressed up as gangsters and got everyone involved. So that was really fun. And then what did we do after that?
Went down Navy Pier.
Yeah, walked down to Navy Pier, which is, it's got a few rides and shops, and it's all on the waterfront there. We went and got some popcorn. There's a famous popcorn place, and I'm just trying to think of the name of it. It'll come to me anyway. But we got this popcorn that's famous in Chicago. There's shops everywhere, and we got some of that and ate it down at Navy Pier, and went down to Millennium Park and ate the rest of it. The bag was it's probably like 10 days worth of popcorn in there, but we got through it all.
So that was the other thing down at the Bean.
Yeah,
That
the
was
bean.
pretty cool.
Yeah, the bean down at Millennium Park. That was awesome. That's really iconic there. It's this big metal jelly bean shaped thing that shows the whole skyline of Chicago. So that's really awesome to see as well. And then we kept eating. We went and got dinner and got some deep dish pizza, as you do in Chicago. And then after that we went to a ice hockey game and went and saw, which teams were they?
The Blackhawks.
The Blackhawks.
And
Was it
Colorado.
Colorado, yeah. So that was really fun. That was our first ice hockey game ever. And I love the sports here in America. Everyone gets so into it. It's like a big spectacle. There's music and dancing, and it's just like a sensory overload. But it's so awesome. Yeah, so that was our day in Chicago. So we tried to pack in as much as we could, and it was so much fun. That was one of my favourite days of the trip so far, I think. And then after that, we took off the next day and drove down to Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, so we went to Cleveland through Indiana.
Yeah. So we just drove straight through Indiana. We're trying to hit every single state. So sometimes we just have to drive through and to tick it off the list. And yeah, Indiana was one of those.
Yeah, just to drive through.
Just to drive through and say, yep, we've been there.
Couldn't find a campground, so we ended up staying at Walmart.
That's right, yeah. So this time of year, it's really hard to find open campgrounds. Everything sort of just shuts down.
Especially up north.
Especially up north because it's getting cold. So we've been staying at a fair few Walmart car parks and casino car parks. They are lifesavers, and I actually really enjoy doing it because in the morning, if you want to get something, if you're missing something, then you can just pop into Walmart and get it. And Walmart's the best shop in the world. My favourite. We love going to Walmart. So yeah, anyway, we drove through Indiana and we're on our way to Cleveland. We stopped in there just for a few hours, and we stopped in at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which was unreal. We love that, and I highly recommend it. If you love music, any kind of music, you're gonna really, really love this museum. It's just goes through all the history of rock and roll, all the bands through all the decades. They have really cool memorabilia for Rolling Stones, the Beatles, right up and through until Michael Jackson's famous glove, Beyonce's famous outfits. They have documentaries playing everywhere about all the Hall of Famers. Yeah, I love music, and I grew up on 70s and 60s rock music, so this was like heaven for me. And I was sending pictures back to my brother back at home and going, oh my god, I wish you were here to see this. And you loved it as well, Tim.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was awesome just to see all the cool memorabilia. And so we ended up spending about 3 or 4 hours in there, which was more than we thought. Where did we go after that?
I think that afternoon that's when we drove up to Niagara Falls.
Oh yeah, so we drove straight to Niagara Falls from there, and
About
the next
4 hours or so.
yeah, it's about a 4-hour drive. And then the next day was when we actually went and did our tour. So we actually we paid and did a full day tour of Niagara Falls, which included we went down and saw the main sites, the main places where you can see the falls from. It included the boat ride out to the falls right up close. We got absolutely saturated. It was so much fun. Timmy got some good footage on his GoPro, which I'll put up here. And then afterwards we went up a tower. The tower, do you know what the tower was called?
No, but there's not too many around.
No.
Can't miss it.
The only big tower near Niagara Falls. We went up there with the tour group, and that was really cool as well, so you can see it from a different angle. So we got lots of photos, got absolutely saturated by it. And then that night we went and saw the falls lit up by, they light it up with all different coloured lights, and I only just got to see it. Before I film of a week, I always put a layer of tan on and straighten my hair, and I did that before we went to the falls, thinking that that night we would just be sitting in the car and we'd be able to see it from the car. But when I did it all and Tim said, okay, you ready to go? I said, yeah, sure. And he's like, we have to get out of the car. And I was devastated because girls, when you've got your tan on, you can't go out in the rain. And it was raining, by the way. So Tim got out his ski pants, his rain jacket, and he put plastic bags on my feet before I put my shoes on so that I could go and see it in the rain. So that's dedication for you.
That did nothing. I just wanted to put plastic bags in.
Really? Dope. So it was worth it though. It was fun. So yeah, they put green and red and blue lights on the falls, and it makes it just look really pretty. After Niagara Falls, we had our biggest driving day. That was through New Hampshire.
Vermont, New Hampshire, well, all across New York, which is a lot bigger than I expected. It's probably about 4 or 5 hours just driving through New York.
Yeah, so that it was a massive. I think it's even 2 days of just driving. Or just that one big day.
Just that one big day.
Yeah,
really.
it was a one big day of just driving. But our driving days are really fun. We listen to our podcasts, and we have snacks and listen to music and all that sort of thing. So we don't really mind the big driving days.
And it was day after the election, so all the talkback radio.
Yeah, so that was literally on the Wednesday. So that was the day after Donald Trump was the president-elect. So we were listening to all the radio stations and all the opinions and all the call-ins, and it was really interesting hearing it all, especially being here. And then after a big drive, we got to Maine.
Continue 4.6
and went
miles.
to Salem, where they had the witch trials
24 south.
back in the 16th century.
18.
No, yeah, the 18th century. Yeah, so that was really interesting as well, just to see where it all happened, where they were, you know, prosecuted for being witches, and we went and saw the cemeteries there, and the whole town was a bit sort of creepy, wasn't it? But it was really cool to see though. The Witch Museum was really fun. They do a little reenactment of what happened, and take you through a bit of the you know, the history and everything of Salem. So that was really fun. And then the day after that, we went to Plymouth, yeah. And that was where first settlers came from Britain in the 17th century.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm always looking at Tim because he knows a lot more than this about this than me. Yeah, so that was really cool. We went to the plantation where they had a little replica of the settlement, you know, what houses looked like back then, and they had all the people dressed up as though they were people from the 17th century, and they had little stories, and there was that one guy who just had it, he nailed it, he just had his story down pat, and that was so funny.
People were trying to throw him.
People were trying to trip him up, and that was hilarious.
It was good.
And yeah, so that was really fun, and we went down and saw Plymouth Rock, which was really cool as well.
So that's where the people on the Mayflower first stepped out onto.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is just a rock.
Yeah,
So-
it was just a rock, so if you do skip it, no
Not
big deal.
missing much.
Yeah.
But if you're there, you may as well check it out.
Yeah, exactly. So after our day in Plymouth, we caught the train from our campsite to Boston City, and we spent the whole day in Boston, which was really fun. Lunch is served. The main thing that we did there was follow the Freedom Trail. Yeah.
Yep.
So it's marked out by these two lines of bricks through the entire city, and you follow the bricks around, and it takes you to all these historic places in Boston, which was so cool. What were the main stops along there?
It's just got a lot of sites from, I guess, a lot of American history is sort of born out of New England and around Boston. So there's a lot of sites where they first read out the Declaration of Independence, a lot of like statues and old,
Cemeteries as
landmarks,
well.
cemeteries,
Yeah.
town centres, churches.
It was really interesting. Yeah, so now this week starts in Rhode Island, so we'll catch you up on everything we do this week in next week's Van Diaries. But for now, thank you for watching, and I hope you subscribe, and I really hope you like it. If you have any feedback for us, we always love to hear it. But yeah, we'll see you next time.
See ya.